joining, and we'll have the recordings for everyone as well. After the AMA, we'll circulate that around and send it to our main chat as well. Are you gonna do any screen shares or anything like that? Do you know?
No, wait.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we'll be starting shortly. We're just waiting for the World Cup Doge team, and then we'll start.
Yeah, just bear with us for another minute or two here, guys. Just waiting for the main speaker to jump in, and we'll get the show on the road.
Yeah, please unmute him. He's here.
I see Alex is here. Hi, Alex. How's it going?
Hey, Glenn. Yeah, long time no talk. Sorry, brother. I'm just having one of those days where I'm getting like 150 DMs per hour. It's crazy.
Oof.
Yeah, sorry for the delay.
Busy, no problem. Yeah. So if you're ready, Alex, I can start the recording, and we can go to the World Cup Doge project.
Yep. Let's do this.
Welcome to the WorldCoin Talk community. Today we have joining us World Cup Doge project. Speaking on behalf of the project, many of the community investors might know Alex, great speaker for projects to get across overall plans for each project that he comes and joins us for. Has probably been in 10-20 times now, so that's great with Alex on today. So yeah, if we could just maybe start, Alex, before we go into the World Cup Doge project, a bit of your background and experience and the core team's background and experience, that'd be great.
Definitely, Glenn. Hello. Hey, everyone. Pleasure to be here again, so to speak. As you guys probably know, my name is Alex. Self-explanatory there. I am a VC and AMA host on a general basis. However, I'm going to say probably 9 months ago, I started to represent projects as well. What does that mean? Self-explanatory again. Projects hire me to represent them, to kind of talk on their behalf, either because English is not their native language. Neither it is for me. But then the second variable comes into account. It comes natural for me. I do this on a daily basis, so I'm not typically scared of the questions, of talking to people. I don't have that stage fright, so to speak. With that in mind, how did I get in touch with the World Cup Doge team? Scorpy, which you guys are going to learn is the marketing contact, got in touch with me and said, listen, I saw your name there. I listened to your AMA there, so on and so forth, not to show myself. And are you interested in a collaboration with us? As always, I try to do my due diligence as much as possible so that I can get prepared for questions, for comments, and pretty much have a proper educational content for you guys today. What did I learn in regards to the team, and what do I want to mention to you guys tonight as well? Definitely, let's say I'm going to say highly experienced, but more than that, enthusiastic and optimistic, right? Very ambitious when it comes to the plans. They're trying, as you guys probably figured it out, they're trying to capitalize on the upcoming event, which is, of course, the World Cup. Biggest event. Okay, not to overstate it. Biggest football event in the world. With that in mind, they have three core team members. So you got Doggy, the main developer, and think he was kind enough to kind of entertain you guys until I joined. He is the main developer of the contract. A bit about him: been in and out of crypto trading world since 2013 and has more than 5 years experience as a website developer as well, having worked with a lot of projects across the line. And during this time, to kind of help with that particular website documentation, search engine optimization, development and design, and so on and so forth. Marcus is the community manager, relatively new to the crypto trading business, but then the community management business is a well-established part of his day-to-day activities. Has been a community manager for more than 10 years and more than one platform, so to speak: gaming servers, forum betting communities, mobile applications, you name them, every type of forum that you can probably think. He probably has done it at some point in time. Again, comes natural to him as well. Knows to kind of keep that particular balance between FUD and constructive feedback, which, to be fairly honest, uh, within crypto, it's a very thin line, right? And he definitely tries to focus on maintaining people on the proper path, so to say. And then you got Scorpy. Scorpy, of course, the marketing contact, been actively involved in the cryptocurrency sector since 2020. Right about that particular market pickup period after the bear. And after Elon actually started to shield Doge as a valued asset, and man, it has this and that and so much potential, he started to help a few projects to develop and progress in the proper way according to those projects roadmap. Boom Shiba and Kitty Cake, to name two of them. How is his experience relevant? Well, on the side, he actually has 9 years of experience within the betting sector. Again, World Cup Doge, you guys pretty much figured it out. It's going to be a prediction and betting and gambling platform. So his experience is probably going to play a crucial part in the development. He's well documented and connected within the gambling and betting industry, and has onboarded a couple of experts as well to support with the progression, right? So this is the team. This is who I am. And in regards to the idea, how did they come up with it? It's the World Cup. It's upcoming. One thing that I probably would like to mention to kind of knock this out of the park is the fact that although they went for the World Cup Doge name, that's a strategically chosen name, right? Because and again, I did mention this, the search engine optimization is well thought here and applied as a principle. You got World Cup, which, again, in their mind, and I tend to agree with that, the World Cup is probably going to be the number one trending subject topic area on most of the social medias and most of the search engines out there, Google, Yahoo, Bing, and so on and so forth. So definitely you want to try and capitalize on that particular search engine optimization. And why Doge? Well, first of all, because you already have a lot of Shibas and Flokis out there, and because Doge, again, can always have a specific push, from its main contributor within the hype. Basically, what that means is that anytime, or if that particular thing happens for Elon to tweet it again, your project can actually have a push, as simple as that, right? So you do want to be prepared for that as well. Yeah, I'm gonna pace myself and say that's pretty much the intro, as short as always from my side, Glenn.
Okay, great. Alex, yeah, it's a great name, World Cup Doge. So you've got the meme side of Doge, you've got the World Cup fever coming. There's going to be astronomical amounts of money being bet in the World Cup. So that's great. So I was looking in the white paper, and we could start. I think the project's partnered with 5 of the world's biggest betting experts. So they've got expert football analysts and other betting experts. Maybe for the future after the World Cup, it'll switch to other sports as well. So yeah, I'm wondering what sort of bets are they going to be recommending? Is it going to be win, lose, or draw, or is it going to be like corners and penalties, red cards, yellow cards? What sort of betting are they planning to sort of advise the investors all the way through the World Cup? Because I think every day you're going to be having betting, yeah.
They're gonna, and definitely that's a good way to start the discussion, Glenn. Thank you for that. They're gonna start off by implementing the most standard, but also the most used, let's say, gambling features, right? So to name a couple of them, you got your standard who wins, either first, second, or it's a draw. So your 1, X, and 2, how they're called within the betting side. Then you're going to have some derivatives, 1x, x2, and 1-2, which means that you can pretty much tackle a more safe bet, but then your odd is going to drop considerable. What that means is that instead of if for a win you get like 1.5, for a combination of 1x, a win or a draw, you're probably going to see something like 1.1, 1.01, something like that, right? So it's going to be smaller, and it does make sense because you're having two variables taken into consideration. From there on, they're going to add the numbers of goals. And within the betting, you don't have like 1, 2, or 3. You have 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and so on and so forth. I think they're going to limit themselves to 3.5. Just because I don't think, and I've seen this within the traditional platforms, like over 5.5 goals, over 6.5. If it's over 3.5, it's pretty much done already. It doesn't matter if it's going up. You don't want to speculate on those particular odds, because as soon as you're going to have that particular license to implement your Premier League and Serie A and so on and so forth, you're going to have some odd supporting oracles, so to call them. So yeah, you definitely want to keep it simple, right? That's probably the most important factor here. From there on, I'm not going to say they're going to have corners. They're probably going to have, the surprise factor. Are there going to be eliminations or not? Who's going to score the first goal? Who's going to score the last goal? And I think within the World Cup, they're going to try and see if they can implement, I'm not sure if it's done right now, a top scorer leaderboard. Like, who do you think is going to score the most goals within the World Cup? I don't even know if I were to take that odd right now. I don't know who am I going to bet on. I don't even know the players, but still, it would be probably an interesting addition. But yeah, those are the features that they want to implement. And as I've said, within the license, once that particular factor kicks in, I think you can have the opportunity to expand more, right?
Well, yeah, so there's going to be like 3 ways of betting. As an investor, you could be sat in the Telegram and you can follow their bets and maybe go to Betfair and put a bet on, but you're also going to have a public betting pool, treasury betting pool. So maybe if we start with the treasury betting pool, that's going to be 6% of the sell tax going into that treasury. And then I'm wondering what's happening with the profit. That is to use some of it for buyback burns, marketing, and the assumption with investors.
Perfect. So that pretty much allows me to digress a bit within the utility. So there are 2 different betting pools, and you're gonna understand. You guys are gonna understand the difference between each and every one of them. What I think it's interesting to take into account is that it's appealing everyone, right? Either you're a holder of the token, not to mention if you're holding from pre-sale, you get bigger advantages. If you're not holding the token at all, you can still participate in the betting pool as follows. Now, the role of the experts, as I was mentioning, is to try and mitigate that particular risk. The startup principle when you're looking at gambling or betting in general, I call it gambling because it's still kind of carries a risk factor. And with that, I kind of made my statement. You need to mitigate and minimize that particular risk factor. The smaller the risk, that means that you have bigger chances of actually obtaining your reward, right? Your bet to be successful. Now, I don't know the World Cup groups, so I'm gonna speculate right now. Let's assume Argentina's playing Qatar, right? Typically, you would think, okay, Argentina's the favorite, but then are there any other things that you need to take into account? Is there anything else that you probably should know? For example, because I'm using Argentina, is Messi playing or not? Is Di Maria playing or not? Are there any other key players that might be absent within the game? Any suspensions? Is the manager there? Not the case for the World Cup, but a betting principle nonetheless. Is it home or away? Again, not the betting principle here because it's the World Cup, but something to take into account. So there's a portion of research to be done if you want to make sure that you did your part and you're trying to secure the most out of that particular bet. These experts that Scorpy was kind enough to bring and to on board, they are going to tackle that. They have the time, they have the resources, and they have the knowledge to do so. Why? Because they're doing this on a daily basis and they know how to, let's say, review a certain match from every single angle, right? That's pretty much their role. Now, In addition to that, they will determine the amount of risks, allow users to make the most profit, or try to allow the users to make the most profit with minimum risk. As you were saying, to digress straight into the pool, now that you guys understand what the roles are, Workup Doge is going to use 6% of the sell tax, which is the sell tax indeed, to kind of as a treasury wallet fund. Now, this particular fund is going to be used to make bets throughout the entire week, suggested by the experts. You already know who the experts are. Now, the treasury betting pool, a big portion of the funds that will get accumulated within the treasury wallet fund are going to come here within the treasury betting pool. Every week, profits collected by such bets made throughout this particular pool are going to be distributed as follows: 10% commission, so to say, for the experts. They are doing most of the work, so I would think they need to have a portion of that as well. 20% forwarded for next week's bets within the Treasury wallet, ensuring the feasibility or trying to ensure the feasibility and sustainability. 30% used to buy back and burn of the native token, so increasing the value of the token nonetheless. And then 40%, this is where it comes into account for the pre-sale holders. 40% of the winnings are going to be distributed to all pre-sale holders based on the percentage of your holding, which means if you and pretty much could be a question: is there any incentive for which I, as a potential investor, should buy into your pre-sale? The rate is a bit better, just a bit, like 12 or 13%, close to that. But also, if you're holding upon launch from the pre-sale, the more you hold, the more funds you're going to gain back from this particular treasury betting pool. And within the gambling side, there's a lot of money that's revolving around these. Now, is this the project that's probably going to make most of it? Remains to be seen, because there's a lot out there. The team has a well-divisioned marketing strategies, so only time will tell. But until then, if you want to be a part of this, there are some incentives such as this one. Now, the interesting thing that I've seen about this project, and this is what I want to bring forward right now, is typically people would think, okay, but what if I don't actually want to purchase the token, right? I don't want to purchase it. What can I do? Can I still be a part of this? The answer is yes, because there's a public betting pool. Now, the public betting pool is going to function within the same principle. Two different aspects. All contributions here will be done in BNB, so you don't need the native token. And every week, again, the distribution is going to be done as follows: 10% back to the experts as a commission, 20% used to buy back and burn the native token. Again, you're not holding it, but your contributions in BNB are still going to function towards that particular native token increase in value. And 70%, so way more than the treasury betting pool, is going to be shared amongst all contributors based on the amount of contribution. The more you go in, the more you take out. That's pretty much the principle. And it's all going to be done in BNB, not seeing a decrease within the chart. On the opposite, you're seeing an increase because you're still having a buyback and burn token contribution. So these are the treasury, the betting pools that are going to be available at launch. And I'm going to pace myself because I'm not sure, Glenn, if you want me to talk right now about the upcoming utilities that the team is planning to build.
Awesome, Alex. That'd be great. Yeah, because I know you've got like Doge, so as the meme side to it. I'm wondering if there's maybe some cool Doge NFTs, football type around the project. But yeah, you can tell us all about the utility.
Well, yeah, just to kind of complete this particular aspect of the utility. But potentially a good suggestion within the future, but surprisingly enough, this team is not going to focus on NFTs. I don't actually have a reason. I haven't considered it myself. I think just because I've been used to NFTs being there, I haven't actually figured, they skipped it. But what they want to bring is a bit more value, right around the same principle of betting, more on the gambling side. So when you're thinking about gambling, what would you say you have in mind? Platforms and casinos mainly, right? Now, when it comes to casinos, as a general principle, again, if you want to join an online casino right now, because the online is all that we're going to talk about, you need to pretty much take into account two things. First of all, you need to deposit funds, which are going to be done. The deposit is going to be done via your credit card. If the bank is not operating, it's not within the operating hours, it may present itself as a impediment, because if it's the first time that you're using that card, typically what the platforms are doing are taking an amount and they're going to release it at a later time. Later time means that you might not be able to, let's say, gamble within the same hour, maybe some same day, right? The second thing, and this is probably one aspect that people don't want to do, fairly reasonable. Why? I'm not going to question it. KYC. Once you join the particular casino online, you need to KYC 100%. Now, maybe it varies from country to country. Maybe some countries, I don't know, let's take Belgium, France, Germany, whatever, maybe they're not super friendly within KYC. Like, why do you guys need my ID? I just want to to kind of gamble in the casino. The team thought, you know what, because we're fully decentralized, let's build, and it's going to go progressively, potentially Q1 as a beta, envision to be done, to be fully released in Q2 2023, their own fully decentralized blockchain casino, right? Um, People might think, okay, but in the end, it's just a casino. It is, and it isn't. Because if you want to gamble, you might have the opportunity to use BNB. You might have you will have the opportunity to use the native token as well. How will you deposit that? Do you need your credit card? No, you need a MetaMask or a Trust Wallet. That's pretty much it. So fully decentralized, and transparency within the proof of stake and proof of funds. What you see is what you get. Those are the odds, and they're standard. I'm gonna say they're standard games, right? Your blackjack, your poker, your whatever other things they might add to. I don't know, dominoes probably. I'm not a fan of casinos. I don't know what you can do in it. Potentially slots, right? I mean, to use slots within the blockchain would be cool. And nobody actually cares who you are, right? I could say my name is Bob and I'm actually Alex. They don't care. It's decentralized, right? And by doing so and applying it within the blockchain, you're disregarding and obsoleting actually the traditional deposit and withdrawal fees, which are going to be super low within the native token, and the centralized and the KYC part. You don't actually need those. So this is I'm going to say the main utility, which is in progress from right now, as I understood from the team. What else they're going to bring until the casino is live? They're going to bring a sports book and a predict to win game. Now, the sports book itself is aiming to actually merge the world of crypto traders and blockchain folks with the gamblers, traders, investors, bookmakers, right? Through an order book, as simple as that. Now, it's definitely going to be a fair and transparent environment for the users, because you're going to take part in that particular back and lay betting, deciding who you want to be. You want to be the bookmaker or you want to be the bettor. That's the opportunity of the sports book. In a peer-to-peer system, right? You bet against other users, and then the exchange, of course, the World Cup Doge exchange is going to act. The sports book itself is going to function as an intermediary marketplace for your bets. As simple as that. I would suggest, if you guys are not super familiar with this, and again, only if you're considering to invest maybe, or if you're curious, Google sportsbook in general to kind of understand, what the function of a sportsbook is. How is it working? Is that even interesting as a as a function? Because typically, when you're thinking about sportsbook, pretty much, it's the same thing as a bookie, right? Maybe you're more familiar with that term. You're going to accept bets on either side of a sporting event, and you're going to be, let's say, able to do it because of the difference of I think it's called a spread, something like that. I'm not super familiar with it myself, but it's either a company or an individual that accepts bets. That's why you can choose who you want to be. This is again a fairly unique aspect on the blockchain, if you ask me. I haven't actually seen it on other projects as well, so I would say, how is this unique? Pretty much like this. And then another thing that you guys are going to be able to do within the simpler way, the predict and win. Now, predict and win, imagine, again, the World Cup is pretty much stated, but once the betting license kicks in, you're going to implement, Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and so on and so forth, Bundesliga, and so on and so forth. So what you guys are going to be able to do here, you're going to predict the outcome with a simple click. Who wins? between I don't know, Borussia Dortmund and Werder Bremen, something like that. Team one wins, team two wins. As simple as that. If it's a draw, it's redone, right? So as simple as that. I don't think there's going to be a function for the draw because that's just going to take attention. So either team wins, but it's only with one click. So you don't need to take into account a lot of factors or variables. It's a fun way. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's say half of the utility that I mentioned within the treasury betting pool and the public betting pool is already going to be available at launch within the supports of the experts, and then throughout the development of the ecosystem, they're going to bring forward the predict and win, the sports book, and eventually the gambling license within the casino as well for more and more fun. Yeah, I'm going to say back to you, Glenn.
Okay, Alex. Yeah, so I was wondering, it's going to be huge, maybe for World Cup Doge for the month of the World Cup, and you were saying about the sports book there. So, what sort of betting advice and bets will the experts be betting on in the future? Will there be some European football? Will there be golf, cricket, all sorts of sports betting?
Well, initially, you're going to focus again as the the upcoming event. You're going to focus on football because the plan. And I think they have a logic when stating this as well. The plan is this: you want to capitalize on the World Cup, but you want to eventually add other sports. Now, if you don't have the license and you don't have the big leagues within football, can you try and tackle, I don't know, tennis maybe? Although I think tennis gambling is pretty dull in my opinion, pretty boring. Can you tackle NBA, NHL, other sports? Probably not. So the logic here is to kind of go with the flow. World Cup, which is football, obtain the license to implement the major leagues, bring the traction. Because if you were to compare, I'm gonna estimate up to 70% of the gamblers out there are more keen on gambling on football because it's the king sport than on baseball, maybe NBA. I don't know, something like that. So the progression here is to have the license implemented, go in with the major leagues, have football as a sport already on the platform, fully done, and from there on potentially tackle others, building strictly on demand. And the team will actually listen to the community, depending on, in the end, community is the one that's gonna bet. So if they are more interested within cricket, as you said, then that's probably the sport that you need to tackle. See what you need to have, any additional sponsorships that you can obtain, because you do need to take into account, if you're going with football, you probably have the most doors open, different than, I don't know, cricket or tennis or NHL. Probably NBA is already involved in one way or another. So yeah, that I think is the answer to your question, Glenn.
Okay, awesome, Alex. And the pre-sale, I mean, it's 3.5 hours away. So I'm wondering if there's still any whitelist spots for community to win. And with those lately struggling to get the hard caps, say if it's only 70% sold out over the next day, is there an opportunity for it to open to the public at some point?
I'm gonna take terrific questions there, Glenn. So let's give me just a second.
Yeah, the pre-sale would open for public in like after 1 hour. So
That's cool.
Yeah,
So
I heard you there, Doggy. So I thought you wanted to step in. Yeah, definitely go ahead, Doggy. If you want to add anything else, yeah, please be my guest.
that's just for the whitelisters for 1 hour, and then it will open for public. So
yeah, awesome. And what the minimum max contribution? I think it's running for
minimum is 0.3 BNB and maximum is 6 BNBs.
Okay, awesome. And I think planning central exchange listings as well. What's on that? Plans going forward. I mean, you've huge hype around the World Cup. So, how are you going to take advantage of that and get it across the socials, maybe?
I think I partially understand. I understood the question. Glenn, you were cutting off a bit. I'm not sure if it's on my end only. Can you try and repeat it?
Okay. Yeah. I'm coming from okay now.
Not really. You're still cutting off, but I'm not sure if it's only. Can you hear him properly, Doggy? Is it just me?
No.
Okay.
Not.
Okay.
1 second. Put some pages down.
No, it's actually
coming through
getting
okay
worse.
now. Oh,
Okay,
but
maybe.
let me just leave the room a second now. Let's see if that fixes it.
Let's see. Yeah, let's just give Glenn a couple of seconds there.
Okay, I'm back. Is that coming through any better?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, sounds
Oh,
good so far.
awesome. Great. So yeah, I was saying central exchange lists up, and so I was wondering what's happening there in the future and plans. I mean, the World Cup's going to be huge. So how are you going to take advantage of the hype around the World Cup, get out on the socials and promote the token and the betting?
Yeah, I thought you asked that, but I wasn't actually sure 100%. Yeah, so definitely thank you for restating your question, Glenn. What I can say in regards to the marketing, because that's pretty much where this is going. The World Cup by itself is a and I did use this as an operative keyword, free ramp up method for projects. Why is it free? Because you don't need to pay for them, to kind of host you or something like that. The event is pretty much not crypto related at all. It's gonna happen whether Bitcoin is 12K or 50K. So you building a project around that hype, and I think choosing a name such as World Cup, and then again the meme persona Doge, uh, I think it does open additional doors probably, other than, let's say, choosing let's say Qatar or one of the stadiums, so on, because I've seen projects like that. I don't think they're gonna have a lot of success. Remains to be seen. Again, I'm not here to FUD or talk on behalf of them. So the name is one aspect that kind of made a start off, a strong start off, if you ask me. Um, Other than that, you will capitalize on a potential centralized exchange should be done within shortest time possible. I don't want to overstate saying that it's going to be done in a week or two. What I can say, not to leave you guys hanging, is that there are talks, could be advanced already, but I'm going to say talks and discussions ongoing with two of them, which I know, Mexi and Hotbit. Now, I'm not going to take things as granted, saying that either one of them or both of them are going to be done. Only the team can actually rely, according to the offer, according to a lot of other metrics. Both of them super super strong, if you ask me. So I personally, as an investor, will be happy with either one of them, right? That's pretty much to tackle the centralized exchange listing portion. Now, when it comes to capitalizing on the moment, what you're going to try and do within the World Cup so that you can get traction in your volume and support and sustain your pools is to make sure that you have token visibility. I think I did mention this within another AMA here. I'm not sure. And this is a strategy that kind of revolves around what the team is doing. Um, Token visibility is done through a lot of other aspects. Index websites, which people kind of disregard, but they have a lot of impact. Voting platforms, Coin Sniper, CoinRank, and whatever. Social media ads, PooCoin banners, which are still important. Even Reddit CMS posts. I understood they still have an impact, right? That's aggressive marketing for people to constantly see you, right? Work up Doge there, work up Doge here, WCD banner there, a PooCoin banner there. A lot of things that are gonna get people curious, right? That's how it functions. It's a normal principle. Through that, people are gonna get interested, are gonna start researching, understanding that you have a user base, that you have an active ecosystem, and the logic here is to allow them to start and progress within your ecosystem as well. By doing so, you're gaining people and you're gaining project visibility, right? What is your utility? People are going to know. What can I do with the token? People are going to know and eventually do it as well. So it's pretty much a snowball effect that you're trying to accomplish from the World Cup, getting people into your project, supporting the pools, uh, fast tracking for as much as possible, because I don't really have the knowledge on that. On the license, implement the major leagues. Again, you don't tend to, and you don't need to rush, because people are looking, are the major leagues going to be implemented within the World Cup, or once it ends? I'm going to say probably not. Why? Because there's not going to be a game. There's Christmas. I think the only one that's gonna have games is probably the Premier League, because they're playing no matter what. if all goes according to the team's plan and they can do it probably. But I think it's going to take some time. It's going to be a progressive and organically add to that. So yeah, the ramp up method is going to be used within the World Cup, and from there on, apply your marketing strategies, develop your token visibility to make sure that the project expands within the proper way as well. That I would say is the somehow the progression that the team is looking to have, Glenn.
Awesome, Alex. I can't say the Premiership is paused, but it starts again on the 26th of December, Boxing Day. It's a big sporting event as well, so maybe you can do some betting around that. Maybe a tip there for the team to do something, when the Premiership kicks off on 26th of December, just after the World Cup. So yeah, let's open it up to questions from the team. I might have a question for Alex here at World Cup Doge.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
hey Glenn, yeah, I was listening in. It sounds super exciting, and I know a lot of people will try to capitalize, and I think there's great opportunities because when it comes to marketing this sort of thing, and because you have this Doge element that's kind of meme-ish and it's kind of community driven, then I think it can have like the certain means to kind of push the idea forward, with engaging the community, with doing all this sort of thing. So I'm wondering, are you guys planning to have some form of, I don't know, maybe live viewings of the sports, or I don't know if you can do live viewings, but maybe like live texting and people just hanging around, and will there be some form of leaderboard as well for people actually betting, and I don't know, maybe the best one, the best guesses get a bigger prize? Is there anything like that in the works?
At one point, I would say yes. It's not a let's say definitive plan. How would your again your suggestion is also amazing, and thank you for that. I'm pretty sure that Doug is still here, so yeah, he's probably taking notes just to make sure. The fact of the matter is this: when it comes to the D app, right? When that particular D app is going to be developed, you're going to have more than one feature, right? I'm not sure if there's going to be a leaderboard as well. I think it all comes down to the traction, because if you have let's face it, like 5,000 people that are gambling, yeah, the leaderboard's probably going to be a bit harder to implement. Um, Remains to be seen, but the live aspect of it, people talking to each other, sharing opinions, and so on and so forth, it is, let's say, somehow to be developed within a forum of the project itself. More to come on that, I would say. Acti, definitely, top notch suggestions there. I kind of understand where you're coming from, because some of the traditional platforms have that already. Probably World Cup Doge is going to try and implement some of them, but also add a bit of twist to make them unique, and to own them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because on the other sides, yeah, maybe you can watch the game or whatever live text, but when you have a larger community that wants to watch together, and you get, I don't know, it doesn't have to be thousands of fans, but it can be just a couple of hundred just hanging around, rooting for their own team and creating this sort of not friction, but, kind of competitiveness, between the community as well, and everybody, strategizing and all that. So I think it has a different kind of impact than just people, sitting at home kind of betting and whatnot. So that's going to be really interesting to follow. And just one more thing from you, we were mentioning the app and everything. Is there a beta version out, or when can people get their hands on testing the app or seeing the app, or kind of getting their hands on it?
I mean, there isn't a beta version released right now. When it comes to, probably, I'm gonna tackle the mobile application. I think the plan, if all goes according to that, because you guys know I like to stress this, the plan for the application is to be done by the end of the year as well. The full release of the application. There might be a better release for the D app, for the people to kind of understand how the dashboard is gonna function. Maybe as you did right now, actually, to share some of their feedback or opinion. I would like to see that, or why don't we have this, or so on and so forth. uh, but yeah, as a tentative, I would say probably by the end of the year. Again, you have to kind of narrow it down to the community interest as well, to how well the progress is going to be done, how much traction can you gain, and so on and so forth. So these are only tentative dates right now.
Okay, gotcha. And with the just last thing from me, Glenn, and then we can move to community. I believe you're mentioning. What did I see here? Oh, I forgot what I was going. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you because I think it was something important. I'll get back with my question.
Thanks for the questions, Acti. Let's move to community investor questions. Let's see, Syed, you had a question for Alex at World Cup Doge. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so on the white paper, there is mention of Sabah Sports, IM Sports, and the FB Sports betting providers. So I was thinking, will the team be using these betting providers' sport books initially?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll be
Oh,
using their APIs actually. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, moving to my next question. So I've read on your white paper that the team is also planning on creating a fully decentralized blockchain casino in quarter two of 2023, and this casino will provide full transparency with the proof of stake and proof of funds. So I want to understand that how will proof of stake and proof of fund going to bring the transparency to your online casino?
sorry, I think you cut off a bit. Yeah, proof of stake and proof of fund for the casino.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if you can keep on, because I that's all that I understood. I don't know what the question was around that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can repeat that. So, how will this proof of stake and proof of fund will going to bring the transparency to the online casino?
That's a good one, actually. That's a good question. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say it from my end. I don't know if Doggy wants to step in with any addition here, but because it's decentralized within the blockchain, every transaction, right, every winning and every reward done can be tracked at some point within the blockchain, which is pretty much what you want to see. The let's say the proof of fund. Other than that, if you kind of correlate with the other with the not the physical casinos but even the other online casinos, you don't really have that, right? I mean, there's no way anyone's going to offer you access to the so-called books to kind of see what profit did you make, how much was it rewarded, and so on and so forth. A portion of this data is available because you're operating within the blockchain itself. So that's pretty much the transparency, I think, again, the transparency that you would look to have within a decentralized platform. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, so for this online casino, will the team going to develop their own games, or they will be acquiring the games from any third-party providers of the casino games?
No, it's gonna be adaptations of the I'm gonna say standard games, but adapted to the blockchain. I'm not sure if they want to add anything unique to it. There's also room to improve here. Um, Potentially, let's say potentially, again, speculative here, a somehow Doge affiliated slot. But other than that, your standard, let's say, poker, blackjack. Those are the only ones that kind of come to mind. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Maybe others. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to add.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think.
yes, we are developing our own games. I mean, those are the adaptations of the normal games that you see in the casino. But yes, we are coding them by ourselves. Yeah, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah, I was asking the same thing. So, Alex, you mentioned that users will be able to buy BNB directly on the platform using the credit cards, correct?
No. I was making the difference between how do you typically deposit funds on the online casinos compared to the blockchain. The BNB part that I mentioned was for the public betting pool. That one on that one you're gonna have the option of contributing within BNB, so you're not actually needing to hold the native token. If you hold it, you have additional perks in the treasury betting pool. But yeah, other than that, hopefully um, I didn't mention anything else. Yeah.
Understood, understood. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alex. Over to you, Glenn.
Hey,
Thanks for the questions, I'm at.
Thank you for the,
sorry to butt in here,
thanks for
Glenn.
the
I just
question, Syed.
remembered what I was meaning to ask. It's a quick one because you were mentioning the treasury pool as well. So I'm curious, when will that kick off? Is it from the get-go, or will the experts use that fund once the DApp is out?
That's from get go. As soon as we started trading, I mean, we'll start collecting taxes in treasury betting pool, and then we can start.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. I divided the utilities actually, and thank you. Yeah, thank you as well for mentioning it, Doggy. I divided them into, let's say, two aspects. 50%, of course, is the availability at launch. Once you're going to start to collect those particular taxes, you're going to have the treasury betting pool and the public betting pool as well functioning. And later on, you're going to progress in the proper path. The casino is probably the last one because it's the most ample, but they are working actively on it. Predict and win and sportsbook to be developed and released within shortest time possible, of course. Probably the first one will be the predict and win. And from there on, implement the sports book, affiliate with the gambling license, casino, and yeah. So that's why I divided them into two: released already, so to say, and upcoming.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, all good.
Okay, great. Actually, let's move to, let's see, Aisha, you had a question for Alex at World Cup Doge. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So I have read on white paper that team has partnered up with five of the world's biggest experts to provide investors the chance to make the most out of every bet. I was wondering who are these five experts the team has partnered up with, and do users have to pay any subscription fee to have access to analysis and predictions made by these five experts?
Hey, Shab. Good question, definitely. Who are these experts? Now, when it comes to, let's say, publicly revealing themselves, I don't think they're going to do it, and I wouldn't actually feel it necessary. More specific, who they are acquaintances and, let's say, people that were met by Scorpy within his years of experience in the betting sector that have proven a solid knowledge and grasp on the betting concept. Uh, the second part, is there going to be an access fee? No, it's not going to be an access fee to kind of get access, so to speak. They will be rewarded out of the treasury betting pool and public betting pool. There's a 10% distributed as a commission to them. Other than that, you don't need to pay anything else, and you're not actually paying it. It's getting redistributed basically within the pools. So yeah, it's a distribution method that's going to go back to them as well. um, I think, yeah, I think I kind of covered both of your questions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aisha.
Yeah, you covered both. Okay, I was also wondering, will the World Cup Doge also be offering 24 by 7 customer service to assist users betting on it on their platform?
Well, that's always a plan, but to be fairly honest, I think at first, um, probably there's not gonna be such an. I'm gonna speculate here because I don't know how things are gonna progress. Um, Typically you would have your socials, like your Twitter and your Telegram, available 24/7, and I'm sure that you're going to try and have as much people dedicated to that. And eventually, as you progress and you have the app, potentially even the application on the mobile released, then yeah, you would like to tackle the forum that I was mentioning about earlier with Acti. And you would implement such people to tackle the needs for as much as possible, on every single um, on most of the time zones actually required. But yeah, it's still let's say a work in progress on that side as well. Depends on how much traction do you have.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alex, for answering.
Thanks as well.
Any questions, Aisha? Let's move to Western Beast. You had a question for Alex at World Cup Doge. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Hi, Alex. All right. So I have a question concerning the bookmaker and then the beta itself. You actually confirmed it when you said in your AMA that one can play the side of the bookmaker and the side of the beta. And I also confirmed it on the white paper that sports betting fans will be able to join the platform and take back and lay betting, deciding whether they want to be a bettor or a bookmaker. Are there specific requirements to be a bookmaker? Because I think are there any specific requirements to being a bookmaker on the platform?
I mean, not really, to be honest. It would help if you have a lot of let's say a bit of experience, understanding what back betting means, and what lay betting means. But other than that, I mean, the function of the sports book is to offer that particular availability to pretty much anyone, right? There's no strict requirement, so to speak. Hopefully that's what you were asking. I mean, you don't have to pay. It does help, if you know a bit about betting. And again, the principal terms as well. That's why I've mentioned, if you guys want to be a part of this eventually, to understand what back and lay means in betting, how the sports book functions, how the bookies do it, and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, once that particular utility is kicking in, sorry about that. There's gonna be some tutorials released for people to understand. We're not gonna. I mean, the team's gonna tackle this with a lot of seriousness. They're not gonna just release utility and expect you guys to know how it functions. Yeah.
Well, that actually sounds good. That actually sounds good. So, the next thing that caught my attention on the white paper is the fact that people can play both sides of the bet. With the concept of arbitrage betting, are you guys implying that arbitrage betting will actually be allowed on the World Cup Doge platform?
That's actually a good. I'm gonna say it's a good question. It honestly, I would say it could. When you're looking at arbitrage betting in general, probably due to the bookmakers, you're asking that. So I'm gonna say there is a possibility to allow that as well. It's not 100% functional right now, the sports book, and it's not, let's say, defined. Probably to kind of, let's say, try and tackle that, I would say more things to be shared on that one as well, because I don't want to say yes, it's going to be available and then the team decides not to. So yeah,
yes, it's going to be available, of course.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't fully get the question. Can you repeat?
Sure, Doge. Okay, so I was asking, I think Alex got most of the question. You guys, I saw on the white paper, there is this statement that you said that a user can play both sides of the bet. And from my understanding, it means that I can actually bet on side A and simultaneously bet on side B. This is actually called arbitrage betting, right?
Yeah, I understand that. It's not simultaneously. I mean, you have to wait for the price movement, right? To make profit.
Okay, so is it that I can adjust the bets as it goes? That's what you guys mean?
Yeah. That's
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually said that users will have the option of changing their answer multiple times up to 30 minutes before the match begins. Now, when you actually say multiple times, is there a specific amount of time, or is it until once 30 minutes before the match begins? And then
before like 30 minutes is the deadline. So before that, you can change as many times as you want.
That actually sounds good. That actually sounds good. So now, as a suggestion, is there something in play, or are you guys considering the fact that people can adjust their bets while the match is going on? For example, let's assume that a football match has actually gone halftime. Maybe the person wants to adjust his bet. Maybe since the match has already started, he's going to pay some kind of fine or penalty for adjusting his bet.
Just 1 second. I have to make sure you're not getting confused between both. Predict and Win is a different game that we're gonna have on our website, right? In that, you cannot change your bets. Okay, for that, the 30 minutes deadline is there. But in sportsbook, you can do whatever you want. Okay, that's like completely open to you. You can bet during the game, even like 10 seconds are left, you can do it if it matches against another player. So I'm just have to make sure you're not getting confused between the both things.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Yeah. So my last question is on the casino, decentralized casino. Now, you said that the user security will be in their own hands, since you will not ask users to provide any permissions from their wallet to move funds. So I understand the casino. I think you said that it's still actually in testing. When you said that at what point will the users be having that security in their own hands, and at what point will you stop providing security to guarantee the users when they participate in the casino?
Basically, what we mean here is we are not taking any permission from you. I mean, users don't have to give permission to use BNB on our website, right? We will give you a specific wallet. You have to deposit your funds in that. Okay. Once you deposit, your accounts get credited. Okay. You do not have to give us the permissions. We keep hearing about this DApp got hacked, this DApp got hacked, and like FTX got hacked recently, and everyone's fund was taken out. That is the issue we are trying to dodge here.
So if I understand clearly, you will
Yeah.
provide, will I say, a bond wallet in this instance? Am I correct?
It's not Bond Wallet. It's actually we are using coin payments for that. So for every user, there will be one particular wallet for them to deposit funds on, and that's how it's going to work.
Ah, I get it now. I get it, Doji. Doji, Alex, thank you very much for answering my questions. It actually
Yeah.
sounds like a fantastic project. I do have a few more questions which I'll be asking in your group, but I'm wishing you guys
Sure,
the very
sure,
best.
sure,
I
man.
hope the project stays bullish
Thank you,
forward. Over to you, Glenn.
thank you, thank you.
The question was some beats. Let's move to Venice. You had a question for Alex at World Cup Doge. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. Okay, Alex, I read on the white paper that World Cup Doge uses 6% of the sell tax to put in a treasury wallet to place bets throughout the week. I'm concerned that if very few people or no one is selling your tokens and keep on holding, how will you guys convince holders to sell so that you can have funds in treasury wallet to place bets?
Sorry, I got muted there. So yeah, just to make sure that I understood the question. You said that 6% is gonna be, as I mentioned, used to the funds. What if nobody sells it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, we have to face facts here. It's a circle of crypto trading, right? People are gonna buy, people are gonna sell. That's how it functions. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's better to sell. I'm saying that that's one use of the taxes, because the buying tax. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the buying tax is 0%, right? So then, by doing so, you're incentivizing people to kind of be a part of the ecosystem. Sales are going to happen because that's pretty much how the chart progresses, and from there on, the volume is being redistributed. It only takes into account a portion of it. So you got 6% at first, but then think about it: 6% is envisioned at first to be divided as a wallet fund, and from there on, from the profits, 20%, and that's going to create your vicious circle, so to speak. 20% is going to be constantly forwarded to that particular treasury wallet to make sure that you have the sustainability. So I understand your question, and I wish I could say nobody's going to sell, but yeah, that's pretty much how crypto functions. Um, Again, smaller percentages at first, that's probably it, but you gain profits, and from the profits you create that particular circle within the treasury wallet. That's how this one is designed to function, right?
Yeah, understood, Alex. I think late buyers might sell their tokens because 40% rewards to pre-sale holders from Treasury Wallet bet winnings will be given. So I think pre-sale holders won't be giving away 40% rewards from the winning to sell their tokens. Okay, so my next question for you is that for the public betting pool that is done with BNB, winners will be rewarded only with 70% of the winnings. So don't you think people will take the predictions from your experts by being your holders and choose any other platform for betting that give them more percentage of winnings?
Not really. I mean, probably I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna answer with the question: why should they do that?
I should answer that one. We are
Okay.
not giving the predictions to you, the users. I mean,
Yeah, whatever they decide, your experts decide that what their predictions will be. If you guys just show these predictions to the investors, they might choose another platform for betting that gives them more than 70%.
I mean, see, we are going to post results afterwards. First of all, in the initial stages, and after that, once we have settled down, right, we are going to hello,
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You know, Doug? Yeah.
hello. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, Dougie.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a call. Anyway, so at initial stages, we are not going to present the predictions at first. So first of all, we are going to make the bets from the public betting pool. So users have to send a fund to that particular wallet in order to take part in it, right? We are not, our experts are not giving away the predictions. We will just post the results of what happens and what we betted on later on after the match. Getting it?
Yeah, okay, understood. Thank you, Doji and Alex. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Thanks for
Definitely.
your
Thank you as well.
questions. We're running out of time now, but maybe Alex can do a recap for anyone that missed the first half of the AMA, and yeah, just update them on what's happening with World Cup Doge.
Definitely, my man. Definitely. Well, I'm gonna end this one saying thanks a lot to each and every one of you who joined, who engaged within questions, within the community as well. Join the Telegram. The whitelist pre-sale is about to start in 2 hours. There's still a couple of opportunities for you guys to obtain a whitelist. We're doing another AMA right after this one. It's gonna be a back-to-back. So if you guys want to join the Telegram. I don't want to shield the other group here. Yeah. So yeah, join the Telegram to find out where it is. Other than that, you got the documentation. The World Cup Doge is going to build a platform divided into two. You get to predict with BNB. You get to benefit out of experts advisory service, and you get to predict with the native token as well. Any other utility that I typically didn't miss, but if I wasn't clear with my explanation, join the Telegram, tag me or any of the admins, and we're going to make sure to tackle that question.
Yeah, it's great speaking to Alex as always, and yeah, it looks really cool. I really like the name World Cup Doge. Never mind everything else that's going on under the hood with the betting for the World Cup is going to be awesome, and with the casino in the future. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future for the World Cup Doge team and community. As we say, welcome to us for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice, but yeah, we always recommend the community investors check out the website, white paper, the official socials. If you've got any questions after the AMA, head over to the Telegram. The official Telegram's in our main chat, and yeah, you can ask questions from the team and get involved with the community. And it's a couple of hours away from the launch. I think for the first hour, it's going to be whitelist, and then it'll open to the public. So there's two chances for you to get involved. And Axie's open the wheel here. I think we've got 2 spins. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can see the wheel. Okay. Yeah, I opened it up a little early. I know it takes a little bit to come through. I'll spin it twice for 2 lucky winners, $50 each, and we'll post the winners in our main chat, and then you guys can claim your prize. So let me grab first winner here. Kishu form this guy. Congratulations. And let me shuffle it one more time, and I'll spin it. And as always, guys, the chat is still locked. So everything we've been talking about, all the links, all the official links, the pre-sale link as well, is right there in our main chat. So do take a look, go to the website, navigate to the socials. Alex mentioned there's another AMA coming up for them. So if you still want to ask some more questions or get involved, make sure to follow the team around. So I got the 2 IDs here, guys, and we'll post the winners in chat, like I mentioned. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. This has been a great one, and thank you for everybody engaging, and thank you for the team for being here with us. And we'll see you guys in a bit on the Twitter Spaces. So cheers, everyone.